You know what the limit is? It's not touching the top. It's not touching the bottom.
Well, I did a bit of touching the top and bottom, and now
That
it's
is
not. Like
so
now
horny.
I
did a
did
bit of touching the top, and I did a little bit of touching the bottom.
And now I know where everything is.
And that's on flipping the switch.
Get it off your chest, get them off your back. Get your compulsions back on track. Stick it to the strikes, tell them take a hike. Join your obsessive compulsive dykes.
My name is Anna.
My name is Megs.
And
Welcome to season 3.
What the fuck? Of obsessive compulsive dykes. As you can tell, we're not in the same room.
You would never believe it. What if I told you we'd never once been in the same room?
What if I told you I don't know this bitch?
What if I told you we're both AI?
What if I told you this is all a dream? You're in the Matrix. Wake up. You need to wake up.
It would be sort of a nice relief from like the constant horrorscape that is the world. Speaking of constant relief, moment of relief, I'm in Wales. If you saw our intro, then you will know that. But if you haven't seen our intro, then what the fuck?
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, watch it now.
It feels like we're catching up with a friend that we've not seen for like almost a year. And we're like, what's happened in a year? And I'm like, what's happened in a year, mate?
Yeah, where do I start? Like when I meet up with my friends after this long, we would do like, okay, career, go, half an hour. Love life, go, half an hour.
Love life, go.
Obviously
It's 3 days.
Okay. What I need to get into is, have you seen, what is that show on Netflix that is...
Wayward with Mae Martin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Of course, I knew exactly where you were going with that.
Okay. This morning over breakfast, I watched episode 5. Have you watched episode 5?
It came out, I finished it 2 days after it came out.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, my partner and I, / the vegan and I, were watching.
I'm sorry, we
over
have
breakfast.
to switch up that name. Like, they literally can't be the vegan. That's the most impersonal thing in the world. Like, you guys have lived together basically now for a long time. Like, it's so, and you've been together for a long time. Like, they can't be called the vegan.
Do you know what? They actually did request a name change, and I was like, well, the fans know you as that. Like, you can't just change your identity.
No, for sure.
But I'll tell you what, I will put it in my cauldron and I'll bring you something back.
Right.
I'll bring you a juicy morsel of a new name. So the vegan and I were sat eating breakfast, eating tempeh, which was reduced to £1.60 in the supermarket. What an amazing situation.
To be
Smoked
honest,
as well.
yeah.
So we were watching it. There's a sex scene that happens in the end of episode 5. Now let me tell you, I was blushing. I got beside myself. I started giggling into my tempeh on toast because I couldn't contain myself. The vegan literally was looking at me like, are you serious? Like, I'm watching you develop a crush on Mae Martin, because contrary to popular belief, like, I am one of the gays who doesn't immediately have a crush on Mae Martin.
That is also
like,
so wild, because I would think that that's your type.
Yeah, I do get that. I really get that. But I honestly, we'll get more into this, I don't think I have a type.
I was gonna say,
think...
I was like, I don't think you discriminate. Like, you are very cross spectrum when it comes to like gender presentation and like everything, I feel.
Exactly. That's because I'm the best gay there is.
I know.
Not that it's competition.
Well,
but if it was, I would win. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, not that anyone asked. So
sorry, I can't believe we're doing this. I just had a weird moment where I just zoomed. I was like, this is so crazy. I can't believe this is happening.
I can't fucking believe it either.
Yeah.
I am so thrilled.
Yeah, and
I
it's
can't tell you
unfortunate
how
because
thrilled I
I'm
am.
sat worried a little bit about the fact that you look so cool and amazing. Thankfully, like, you are much bigger on the screen recording, but I'm just like very self-conscious by the fact that I was sweating and working out before, and then I just sort of had a quick shower. Now I'm sat here in sweats and with
I hold space for that.
broken trousers that I've sort of like fixed together, and in the same sheets that you slept in last time you were here, which wasn't that long ago. I want to say, but yeah,
our relationship has increased from going to the cinema once together, to now I actually have slept in those sheets.
Which
why?
I guess that's something we may be answering down the line, maybe not.
I guess so.
Plot twist: I am
if
the vegan.
This gets in another life, as G Flip says. Now, we're watching this sex scene. I'm a little bit beside myself. I'm sorry, but I wasn't ready for it. Mae Martin is suddenly built. Like, when did they go to the gym every day? they've always been this kind of like self-depreciating, like, oh, I'm just this Canadian comedian.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah. Yeah, I was like, what? Since when are you so fucking hench?
Exactly.
Yeah, actually crazy. It was
It
not
was the
prepared.
crawling and like the big shoulders. I was like, oh, and oh my god, you need to go and watch this scene. Even if you don't watch the whole of Wayward, this scene is worth it. And sorry, but where it goes, I'm not going to spoil it, but where it goes with like their character is a trans man, I think, and it's not the classic femme partner gets finger blasted and it's all a bit of moaning into the neck. Let me just say that it's not that.
Yeah.
It's something that I've never seen on TV before.
God, why can't I remember this? It's the thing is I don't really fancy either of them that much that in the sex scene. So for me, maybe that's why I don't remember it as vividly.
I totally get
Yeah.
that. I'm going to tell you what it is and we'll just bleep it for the sake of not spoiling
Of
it.
course, yeah.
Actually, you could just bleep out like every other word. It would be hilarious. So, Mae Martin takes their character. He takes off shirt, crawling the girlfriend, wife, savage with the record. And then she's like, and he like back on his and she's like, off your So he does it. Then there's more. Then he's like, her legs. Then there's more. He goes flat. No, he takes his and like flat on the stomach, and she is behind him, giving it to him.
Oh my god! How have I
Yeah.
not remembered this?
It
Wow.
disrupted my week,
Yeah,
and it's Monday.
of course.
It was so hot.
Wow. I mean, good morning, I guess. To be honest.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning,
Exactly.
sunshine. It's a new day. It's a new week.
It's a new week and a new crush for me. I can't believe all these years I've not had a crush on Mae Martin, and now I do thanks to that.
Yeah, I've seen Mae Martin live once doing comedy.
I know, you told us the story. Was that the one where you were like,
No, that was
Wait a
another
second.
comedian.
oh, yes, that was Ashley Gavin?
I didn't try to sleep with Mae Martin, but I wouldn't put it past me.
What's your gender of the day?
Oh, my gender of the day might just be Mae Martin, low key,
Oh.
like in that moment as well. Because like I've not told you about my sexcapades recently, but like I would say that's kind of the vibe I've been on. Henge crawling on the floor, but also like I'll not be putting the weight, you know? So
Do you
yeah.
know, that's all I've wanted for you.
Thank you so much. I think my gender of the day is actually Mae Martin in Wayward, quite specifically. So
Episode
thank you so
5,
much for introducing
Minute 42.
that. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm so pleased for you.
What's your gender of the day, my love?
My gender of the day is a magical little toad. I'm just stuck on Wayward. There's toads in Wayward as well. But like I want to be like a toad that like you lick its back and you just go somewhere crazy.
Is that legally a drug?
I'm going to say no
Yeah.
so that you can engage.
Thank you so much. You understood where the question came from in me. I think we should just rip the plaster off and get into the real juice and what we've all been waiting for, which is our neighborhood watch.
They've waited a year.
All right. Well, do you want to take it away, my angel?
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I've got so much neighborhood watch. Like, I don't think you understand. Obviously from a year, and I've written down the highlights.
Yeah.
/ like the most unhinged things.
Yeah.
So we took our car to get MOT'd earlier in the year. And this is in a very small town, like very conservative. Like I was like, oh God, I can't be asked with this. Like it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, and for
So we
people who
walked
aren't
in.
mechanics, what is MOT'd?
Couldn't tell you what the acronym means. But basically legally you have to go every year. Sorry, I'm just remembering you've said for people who aren't mechanics, as if only mechanics have this information and I as a mechanic can pass it on.
Well,
to other
clearly you don't
people.
even know what the acronym means, so it doesn't include you.
You have to go take your car in once a year to get this test to make sure it's legally allowed to be on the road. And basically what it means is they have an excuse to get like $1,000 out of you every year.
Yeah,
for just random
perfect.
stuff on your car that you've never heard of. So went in to get the car done, and the woman who was like at the reception of this place, she was really nice and very like classic like country woman, just happy to chat. She offered us both some squash, which was sweet. Like I was like, do we not get a grown-up drink? Like, but maybe not. Like me and the vegan look 19 years old apparently. We had our squash, and instead of giving us like a normal little glass of squash, she came back with 2 full pint glasses of squash for both of us.
Was she
And
American?
No, she was English. She was from the Southwest. This is culture.
Mm.
And we went in I had this chat with her about the car, and she was like, yeah, all good. We had dropped it off. She came out, and she was like, oh, she said something alluding to us being a couple, like, okay, I hope you both, you as your couple enjoy the car or something. It was not that bizarre, but she said something about that. And then she came back out like 10 minutes later, and she was like, I've got to say, I've just been in the back room thinking, and I just got to say, I'm really sorry if I said anything wrong before. Because obviously I didn't mean anything wrong in case. And we were like, no, it's okay. Like, we are a couple. That's fine. That's all good. And yeah. And there was like maybe a bit of like guidance to just like pronouns and misgendering, but I can't actually remember if there was any misgendering at that point, or whether maybe, I think originally there hadn't been, but when she came out to then like do her apology, then she started the misgendering. But her heart was fully in the right place. So we were like, you know, going all the way to explain to this woman, who seemed very lovely. We had a lot of time to kill in this. We're waiting for the car. Like, it's like an hour you have to wait there in this tiny office with our pint of squash.
Great.
And you know, if you know me, you know I'm not giving back that glass anything but empty. So I had to drink this squash, even though I don't really like it. I'm not a squash person, and it wasn't strong. If squash is going to exist, it at least has to be strong.
I agree. And it's also like, I feel like it's not in line with you to like, I understand that. Are you hearing what's happening outside my house?
Yeah, is that your neighbours?
Yeah, that's my neighbours. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I just have a very exciting street. This is London, babe. When I tell you,
Listen
so
to
many
what
people
my
have
street
told me they're
sounds
going to
like.
smash my face in outside of my street. I have police here all the time. It's really...
Sad.
Yeah. Me trying to find a way to make it funny. But mainly the people on my street aren't like... There's like a lot of drugs on my street, and there's a lot of like drug deals, and there's a lot of addiction on my street, and that's why there's a lot of police on my street. Like on my street specifically, like literally walk 2 minutes to the right, everything's fine. Like it's just within like a 2-mile radius. No, that's too far. Maybe like a 1 kilometer radius from me. That thing
You
is going
personally.
on. Yeah. This is God that has like ordained CBT to me, and it's like, it's gotta be around you at all times. No, I'm kidding. But now I'm so distracted. What were we even talking about before these?
Don't worry, I'm
guys
going to
started
finish off my
fuck you?
story. So then we were like, have this lovely conversation about gender and this, that, and the other. And she goes, oh no, I do understand. Because my daughter, she would kill me. She would kill me if she heard me speaking like this. And, you know, she's always saying to me, Mum, like, you have to be modern. You have to get on, you know, have to get to grips with all this stuff, because she herself is a goth.
Valid. Honestly, valid. I so hear that. Goth is a gender expression.
That is so
Normalise
true.
goth being a gender.
Normalise goth being a gender.
Yeah, we have the
exactly.
secret third option, but now we also have the secret fourth option. Goth.
Yeah, goth.
Yeah.
So then we were like,
Honestly, but goth is low-key pipeline to being genderqueer. Like, let's be real. Or at least being a dyke.
Yeah.
You know?
Or at least being not okay, which like means you're going to end up being one of us anyway.
I saw this comedy clip
Oh my
of
god,
this
comedian. I know exactly
yeah,
what you're
Maddie
gonna say.
Wiener that I posted.
Yeah.
I reposted one of her sets, but she was literally like, why are people hating on these punk kids? Like, they're suicidal children.
It's so true. It's so true.
Like,
I
they're the
watched that and I
last
laughed so
people
much.
you should be getting on.
Yeah, exactly. These kids are like, we want to end it all, and you're like, you are so fucking weird.
Exactly. Oh, it
Oh,
really killed me, the
jeez.
fact that the coloured hair is an SOS message to God. Like, I can't. What did you say to
Sorry.
the goth allegations?
No, well, I was just like, yeah, of course, like, that's so cool that your daughter's a goth.
Yeah.
And then she was like, and trigger warning, I'm misgendering someone, but it's quoting. So she was like, yes, and my daughter, my goth daughter, has this non-binary friend, and she uses other pronouns, and like, she just is non-binary, and she isn't a woman or a man. And my daughter keeps telling me like, and it's brilliant. I think it's great what you guys are doing, and she just deserves to be so happy.
Love that for her. But also, she could be using one of this person's pronouns if this person uses multiple pronouns. And she's just
That's
favouring
true.
she because that's maybe, you know,
Yeah,
the
this is
gender
true.
assigned at birth. So then it's like she's just
Yeah.
like,
Or
but then
this could
again, that's
be
also a
non-binary
scapegoat.
person who uses like she, they, but is AMAB, and actually this woman's going above and beyond.
Yeah, actually, you have completely misread this girl.
Yeah.
You have something to learn from her.
Yeah. And also, why am I giving her she, her pronouns?
Yeah, did she ever say?
She just did not.
She did not. Well,
Wow.
that's on you, Megs.
I feel
Regression truly is
embarrassed.
alive and well. It started with Fletcher dating a man, and now here Megs is misgendering the 40-plus woman in the small town in southwest England.
Me and Fletcher should be in jail together.
To be honest,
We have to talk about all of that. Oh my god, we've got so much to discuss.
there's so much to discuss, and also I want us to talk like, the polyamory discussion. You know,
Oh my god. I
also
know.
like I've had regression in the polyamory community around me recently. A close
the
friend
hell?
of mine who's been polyamorous, you know about this, bitch. A polyamorous friend of mine, close friend of mine, has entered into a monogamous relationship.
Yep.
Yeah, which I obviously fully respect, and I've actually had conversations about it where I was like, I get that, and that is fully valid, and why would you deny yourself this love if you found this love?
Mhm.
And also like people are allowed to change their minds. But anyways, have you finished your Gayborhood watch? Or I just interrupted you started talking about this.
No, I love the interruption. I finished it.
Okay, great. Well, my Gayborhood watch, I'm just gonna give you guys a little snippet, like a little of this year on my dating history up to date, because I know that's what we're all here for, you know. At the end of the day, it's Anna's dating life that we're all coming back for. So this year, something strange happened to me. Well, actually, once the pod finished, oh my god, you remember how we were like, we need to do updates on all of the like names that we have at the end of last
Yes.
season, of all the names that we have, and be like, where are they now?
That is okay. That is amazing. We should do that as a Patreon episode.
Where are they now? Feel old yet? That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that thing. So basically, I'm gonna just give you guys a little summary. I'm gonna go into specifics later on. I've had some weird experiences up to date, I will say. Meaning I've been like primarily dating people who have just like, you know, broken an entry into my house, and my house being like my love life. I've just been
That's not where I thought that was going at all.
That sounds a bit harsh, and it's probably not true. I've enjoyed a lot of it, but I think I've been here's what I'm trying to say basically, and I'm saying it in a very weird like way that makes it sound like these people have like that it's been non-consensual. It's all been very consensual, just putting that out there. But I think I've been very dormant in my love life, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't been active, my dating life, because people are walk. It's an open house, you know. I'm not going anywhere. I'm the house. I'm here. I'm static, but it's an open house, so people can come in. They can rent it for a little while if they want.
It's going Airbnb.
Yeah, you can't buy. It's not on the market. All right, it's just up for rent. And I think it would be on the market, but like I think the people who have come in, just to do a little capitalist reference, haven't had the means to purchase this house. You know, so it's been a lot of rental going on, but it's been a lot of short-term leases, mainly because I've been like, you're not cleaning the kitchen often enough, or I've been like, don't really like the interior you've put in here, or I've been like, you're never home. Where are you?
Yeah.
You know,
Where are you?
or I've been like, you need to respectfully leave your house, and your house being me being the house, if you're sticking with the reference.
I'm so there.
Yeah.
And we're looking at full on. You are open to home ownership. Someone owning.
I'm absolutely open to home ownership. I would still like for like the person who owns the room to rent, who owns the house
Sublet.
to like rent to sublet. Exactly. I'm so obsessed with this reference. Like,
it's actually so good.
It's so good. But basically, it was standing empty for a little bit, but it's been somebody's been renting it a lot of the time for a period of time there. I had a lot of subletters, and I was like, is this a squat? I don't think so. We need to clear this out.
Yeah.
And I just want to, throw in there one of my favorite comments, honorable mention to this person. I went on a date with somebody who told me that he was like, oh, we're kind of like the same font, like we're both like sporty European like boyfriend kind of vibes, except you are sportier than me, which I'm not used to. So he was kind of like not used to dating maybe more mask, quote unquote, presenting people. And the amount I've been ascribed mask lately is crazy. And I would say that I identify as like I identify as mask. I don't know. I don't think I identify as anything other than like gender fluid and gender queer. I've had so many gender conversations as well lately, but that's for another episode because that's a bit too deep for right now.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyways, point being that the first thing he tells me is like, oh, this is like, I don't know how to like be because you're like a European boyfriend and like I'm the European boyfriend, but you are like more of the European sporty boyfriend than I am. This is crazy. And I was like, I usually go for high femmes, like dom femmes, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, cool. And then said, and I was like, so how come you're on this date with me? To which he responds, yeah, I just kind of thought I'd do it for the bit.
Sorry, imagine that.
I said, that is brilliant. And because I am so incredibly overconfident, thankfully, and have a huge, massive, big fat ego, I was able to just really take this on the chin. And I was like, that is so funny. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to go report back to everyone I know, quite literally.
I remember that happening to you and you called me and were like, this is what has just happened.
Yeah, this is where I'm at. Somebody rented my house for the bit. They were like, ha ha, lol, if I was to live here. Can you imagine?
They just like saw the sign walking past.
Exactly.
Like in the garden. They're like,
exactly
fuck it.
that.
I bet there's biscuits in there. I don't even care if there are biscuits or not. Like, it's that funny just to even go in the house.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a dare. It was like, odds you go in this haunted house.
Oh, damn. For Clit Screen,
yes,
this week, we've watched Blue Jean, the film.
Brilliant film.
I completely agree.
Yeah. I watched it initially really long ago, and the first thing I thought was, I need to cut my hair.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I need to look like that. And I almost did. No, I did cut my hair similarly, but not as short. But I was like, I needed to be like that. But thankfully, I didn't cut it that short because I've recently actually rewatched something that I did, a short film that I did 2 years ago when my hair was at its shortest. And I realized, first of all, damn, I'm a pretty good actor. Second of all, fuck me, I look ugly as fuck.
Oh no, with the short hair.
Yeah, and here's the thing, it had a moment and I think I enjoyed it at the time, but like in retrospect, I'm looking back and I'm like, honey, no. Because it's like, it works if I dress super mask, but if I don't dress mask enough, maybe it would feel differently now that I've got more muscle. But if I don't dress super mask, then I just feel like a girl who's too young to be a librarian, and like somebody needs to get her out of there. Like,
yeah, like she already is a librarian, but like she was wasted in there.
Exactly. It's like, you can't be living in this library for the next 40 years. Like, you're only 20. Get out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel with that hair. And like, I don't know. But also like in the short film that I was watching, like the character I was playing was a bit more femme presenting than me. So then it was kind of giving that vibe. And I was just like, no. Anyways, I've somehow managed to make this about me. Blue Jean.
Okay. I think this is a top. One of the toppest tops we've had.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best films we've watched, and one of the best sapphic films I've ever watched, because it was gritty and real and not annoying. Like, the storyline wasn't predictable enough to be like, oh, that's so irritating. Like, you kind of think you know where it's going and it doesn't go there, which is such a relief.
Yeah.
And it was honest and uplifting, and like the actual true message of it was queer. Like, it was a queer telling of a queer story with a queer message. Like, it was so nuanced and layered, and everybody in it is like sort of rough and ready sexy. Not the children, but like the adults.
Yeah.
Like, OCD just kicking in here.
No, for sure.
We haven't even spoken about the fact it's OCD Awareness Week.
Oh my god, it's OCD awareness. I was thinking about this morning. Okay, quick sidebar. I was journaling this morning before I went to Cali, and I was literally like writing, and as I was writing, I was like, my whole thing about writing is that I write 3 times over each other so that it makes no sense, so that nobody can see what I'm writing, so I don't need to be conscious of what I'm writing. But somehow I'm still conscious of what I'm writing because I have this inherent belief that like there's so much power in me putting something down on the paper. And like that's, I feel like having OCD while like writing something down or eternalizing something is, as we know, fucking insane.
Yeah, totally.
Like what?
This is why I don't understand how people have so many tattoos. Like that's
why
such a
I've done
mental
all of my
fact.
tattoos on instinct and impulse. And I kid you not, every single fucking time I get a tattoo, it hits me again, and I'm like, oh my god, what if I think about something inappropriate while I'm getting this tattoo, and then that turns out to be what this tattoo means forever. Like that always happens. And the whole thing with the writing exercise, I was like, write literally anything down. Write anything down because it doesn't matter. But it's that inherent belief that like we are responsible. But if you flip it and instead of being like, I am responsible, it's like, I have power. And then it's like, no, I don't. I don't have that much power that like, if I write something down or not, like it's not going to change anything realistically.
Well,
I mean, it can. Like I understand the
it
power of
could.
manifestation and that kind of thing. But I think like from a sort of OCD standpoint, it's like,
Totally.
calm down.
Yeah.
Like it's
If you
not
write,
that
like-
deep. Like I'm like
You
if I write a full stop, then I'm like I have to do a capital letter next, then I'm like, and then I didn't, and then I had to scratch it out and redo it, and I'm like, but you're writing this on top of 2 lines that you've already written. Like it makes no sense anyway. So why do you need to do it?
Yeah.
Like why is that rule boundness so important to me when it actually doesn't matter? Like, you know?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Also, I can't apologize enough for all my yawning. Like I don't know why it's suddenly happening. I think it's just being like warm and still.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a
Yeah,
That was
it is so warm suddenly. Like I feel like also podcasting suddenly makes you like all the blood rushes to your head, and suddenly
Yeah.
you're like really tired. Like I'm famished right now. I'm like, okay, I need to nap for like 2 hours and like eat a full meal. And we've podcast when we've been on for what, like half an hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is mad.
So
isn't it?
I feel
it's
you.
the rush of the people that we feel through us.
Yeah.
To go back to your writing exercise, that is so classic OCD. I can't actually believe that there are other people who have the same thoughts that I do, because you know when you're a kid and having OCD and you think obviously
You're
the
fucking
nature of it all
insane.
is that you're insane,
Yeah.
and alone, and so it's lovely to hear. So I feel like we should list some unhinged OCD symptoms so that anyone listening can know that they're not on their own.
100%.
Genuinely believing you've committed a crime and that you are going to be like arrested and you can't remember it.
Yes, 100%. I've got like so much about my past, like also like growing up, like maybe that you've sort of like, maybe this is a bit deep, but like that you've been like taken advantage of as a child or something, and that you just can't remember it, and that
Yeah.
like might actually be the roots of like all your problems or something
Or
like
your
that.
trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. I have exactly the same thing.
I actually listened to a podcast where somebody was talking about that, and I found it so interesting. And she was talking about how like I sent it to you. Have you listened to it yet?
It's that episode. No, it's on my TikTok to-do
Okay.
list, which is also something I need to recommend.
Yeah.
That's a great OCD thing. Right, anyway, go on.
And was talking about like what is of great importance to you might like really coincide with what like genre of OCD you have. So like if you've grown up very religious, then like any religious like compulsions or compulsive thought might be like more common to you. Or if it's like, because I've been quite blessed with I've been quite free from like the health one. Like I don't have a lot of health anxiety, and like that's also could also be a completely separate thing, but I know it can also be very
Yeah.
tied in with OCD. Like I know people with OCD that have like so much around their health or so much around religion, but like if that's not something that's been very prevalent, it can be like so many other random things. It's weird when you talk about it because you're like, what is it? Because it's like it exists on like a minuscule level in every part of my day, kind of, you know?
Yes, absolutely. There's obviously like the checking of the things.
Yeah, but that's just
Sometimes
such
I
a
think-
classic. That's like, that feels so basic. It's like, yeah, of course I'm checking my stove, but like, do you also
Yeah.
think that like maybe you are like asthmatic because you like accidentally touched a blue piece of jelly on the floor? Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't think that, but like I welcome that to now manifest itself in my mind.
no, but like that's the
I-
thing. There's the kind
Yeah.
of, I think that's the like the insidious part of OCD that like people don't understand on like a more basic level, where it's like it's so unrational, but you can rationalize anything. Like you can connect anything. You just pick a fear, you know? Pick a fear, any fear, and then you just make that happen. Make that a reality by any cost.
Yeah, that is such a good way to describe it. Oh my god. Yeah, pick a fear. No, not even, okay, it's not even pick a fear. It's pick something that you could possibly be afraid of.
Yeah.
Like it's not even, it doesn't even have to be a fear that's like people have.
Yeah.
Like you could be like, pick the concept of a phone.
Yeah.
You can develop a fear based on nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And you can rationalize how that is going to become true. And I think a lot of it's is this fear of you being bad somehow, and then it's in which way you would be bad.
Yeah.
And how that would manifest, that you just like pick of the litter, anything, and then let's make that as reality.
I think it does all boil down to the idea of you being fundamentally bad somehow.
Yeah.
Like that is definitely something that I have struggled with my OCD, which is like kind of believing that deep down, even on top of all of this, like even on top of this conversation now, it feels like there's still like a marble of truth, which is that like I am.
I'm sorry that I laugh, but yeah, I relate so hard.
It's so true. Like it feels like you can't possibly actually ever share everything of yourself and like still be loved.
Exactly, but then it's also so counterintuitive because you also have truth OCD, so you're like, but I have to tell whoever I'm with like every single part of me, because otherwise they won't truly know me, and if I don't, like how could I build a foundation like of trust on a lie? And it's like,
or anything.
And it's like, well, it's not that black and white. Like you don't have to tell the person that like, oh, once I was like, I don't know, like pulling,
once I pushed someone off the swing.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, because but then that's another OCD thing. We make that thing bigger than it actually is, and then suddenly that's such a fundamental thing to tell your partner, because withholding that lie means them not knowing you, but you've just decided that that's what means that they don't know you, because there's so many trivial things that they don't know about you. So why is that the thing that stops them from knowing you fully? Because they also don't know that you cooked pasta in year 7, you know?
That is so true. It's a complex beast.
It is a complex beast, and it's so cunning. Like it will show up in like weird ways that you're like, I don't even know that this is OCD, so I'm just stressing and being anxious again until I realize, oh no, it's you again. You just wore a different mask.
That part.
Yeah.
I recently reconnected with a really old friend. It was really amazing. I got this message out of the blue just being like, hey, like this is so wild, but like we haven't spoken in over 12 years and we were like best friends at school, and was wondering if you want to hang out. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever received. Like, this is so cool. I voice noted back straight away, just being like, I miss you so much. Like, you are like such an amazing friend. This is such a lovely, lovely person. Nickname. Sorry, because we've only just reconnected. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm having the OCD moment of being like, I can't possibly attribute one person to one word, because what if that one person who I've only just reconnected with feels completely misgendered or completely like othered by the word I choose? And what if the memory that I'm basing this on is actually made up and I didn't even ever have that experience with that person? We're going to call this person Fairy.
Right.
Fairy and I, we're talking about our past, and it was so nice because I don't really have any friends from school. Like I do have people I get on with from school, but we just aren't like close anymore.
Yeah.
So being able to talk to Fairy was like, okay, please tell me. I've got a list of loads of memories that I think I've made up, and by this point in my life I have absolutely convinced myself that these are completely fabricated. Like, please tell me if you remember any of these things. And Fairy literally validated every single memory. It was like, yep, that happened, I was there for that, yes, I remember that happening, for everything.
That is so nice. And like ideally you would have more CBT going on, where you would just like, no, I trust myself, I trust that this is true, and you are not giving into the compulsion of having it confirmed, because ultimately that is feeding the loop of OCD. And I'm so sorry to say that, but that's what it is. But I'm also equally happy for you.
Thank you so much. I feel like, yeah, I do get that. I think if I could have CBT'd them earlier,
yeah,
that would have been great. But the damage was done.
No,
so like,
it was too far gone.
I didn't want to start CBTing stuff that I'm like, but I genuinely could have made this up.
For sure.
Like one of these memories is that there was a girl in the canteen who was a horrible bitch, and I threw a tuna sandwich at her face and it opened perfectly onto her face, tuna side. I was like, so a memory like that, you can't assume that you haven't made that up.
No.
But Fairy was like, yeah, that happened.
That is, what aim? That's just a wasted potential, really.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done...
You could have been an Olympian. I don't know in what sport, really, but something.
Yeah, definitely something.
Yeah.
So that is
I mean, we're talking
Blue-
about blue
that's on
jeans.
Blue Jean.
That's on blue jean.
Look, you come for the segments and you stay for the tangents. Okay,
Oh my god.
we are launching a new segment, you guys, and it's called
I love
Unsolicited
that
Advice.
you just decided that we are actually moving on. I think we are. I think we are. Please continue.
Sorry, please finish off your final thoughts on
No,
Blue
no, no,
Jean.
no. I'm done. Go on.
We're launching a new segment, Unsolicited Advice.
Yes.
So if you have anything you need our completely unsolicited advice for, please solicit us. It will then be solicited, but it's not funny to say solicited advice, so it is unsolicited.
Yeah.
Unless we just start poaching problems from our friends' lives and solving them for them. Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Send us in problems that aren't yours without any names so that we can solve their problems. Because then
Also,
it's
you can
truly
send your own
unsolicited.
Send any problems.
In the absence of having any advice to give today, because we're just launching that, so please send us in ASAP
Yeah.
to Instagram, OC Dykes, or TikTok, OC Dykes, or YouTube comments.
Send in
Thank you.
whatever you need advice on, your problems, your friends' problems, conflicts around in the world. I would love it if somebody sent us like a celebrity conflict without context on who the celebrities were, and we just solve it, not having any preconceptions about who these people are, and then maybe we can save some marriages.
And
which
that's what
ultimately is
here
what
at
we
OC Dykes.
believe in. We want to save those monogamous marriages.
Save them.
Okay, I think we should queer me out.
I've been waiting to queer you out for so long.
Stop.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to hear about your sexcapades. I was on a field and somebody recognized me from the pod and was like, yeah. Somebody was like, we should go out because like then I could be on the pod. Ha ha ha.
Oh my god, why didn't you do it?
Crazy. Why didn't I do it?
Yeah.
I just don't think
Okay. Do you want this to take that out, or do you want that in here in case they hear this?
I think we should take that out.
Can I
I'll
beep
give you
it?
an alternative reason.
Yeah.
I think it was giving desperate. And like as much fun as that is, I would be the one who actually had to go on that date and be like, we're only here so I can talk about it on the pod. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like a whisk to be picked up and thrown around. Well, I am in so many ways. But I don't want to be controlled. That's why, set up your own podcast.
Okay. I love that you think that that was a less upsetting reason than the first one. Queer me out. This week, I wanted to bring up something that I saw on the internet, which is, because, we've talked a lot about, I actually ran into somebody, this is so funny, I was at, oh my god, I can't believe I've not even talked about the performative butch competition that I was in.
Oh my god.
Fucking
okay, if you
hell.
haven't looked, go on Anna's Instagram now and watch the compilation they have made of their performance
of myself.
Performative Butch. Yeah, it's iconic.
So it was a performative butch competition, and I obviously was like, this is my moment to get naked in front of a load
of gays.
Yeah. I don't want to say it now. I'm getting OCD and being like, a bunch of dykes. Not everyone there identifies as a dykes, I'm sure, but like, God, I don't need to have this much OCD. Literally, this is the first time back at the pod, and like we're re-experiencing the symptoms that we had the first time around.
Yeah.
You
say the first time around. It's every episode.
Yeah. Anyways, so I did my performance, and then a week later I went to another event, and then there was somebody there who I had worked a catering shift with like 4 years ago or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, hey, and then like her and the friend she was with started like laughing and was like, oh my god, and she was like, I didn't think you recognized me. I was like, no, and then the friend was like, we were at the performative butch competition, and like, and oh my god, this, and then oh my god, and then she mentions the podcast. They were like, oh, we saw you at the from butch competition, and I didn't think you recognized me, and then we saw you here, and I didn't think that you remembered me. I was like, oh my god, of course. And she was like, because you also roasted me on the pod, and I had completely forgotten about this.
Oh my god.
And it's Nails. It's Nails. She was like, yes, I'm Nails. Ha ha ha. You remember? Anyways, she was so
Hi, Nails. How are you?
Hey, Nails. How you doing?
Hey, Nails. Hope you're still listening, babe.
And I found her housemate really hot who she was there with, and I was like flirting with the housemate, and then she was like, "You've unfollowed me on Instagram." It's like I was like, "Oh," and at that point I had given my phone like really smoothly to the housemate as we were talking, with like just the Instagram thing open for them to type in their Instagram to me.
Good for
And
you.
then thank you. And then while I am doing that, Nails sees that and clocks it and is like, "Oh, you unfollowed me on Instagram." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." But then in my defense, I'm like, well, somebody I worked one catering shift with 4 years ago, like I probably followed her for about 2 years, and then I got to a point where I was like,
Who is that?
you know, I saw a
Yeah.
video about that, like, oh, trying to unfollow the girl you met in the bathroom in a club 5 years ago, and having like qualms, being like, I can't do it. Like, what if she will be offended? And I'm like, feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I am like, if I haven't talked to you in the last year, I'm just gonna unfollow you.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think
can't
that's
be.
huge, and I think that's a really good way to look at it. I think I'm not quite there yet, and this probably was a huge regression having this interaction, because now I'm like, okay, the deadline's been extended to 10 years. Why did I bring this
Yeah.
up? It was something we were talking about. Oh, it was Queer Me Out.
Queer Me Out.
Oh my god, yes. Now I know why that was relevant. And basically, and then because I'm such, I'm always trying to accommodate to whoever I'm trying to impress. The roommate was there, and then was like, "Oh yeah, and your pod," and like, "Oh, you're very like, very polyamorous and that kind of stuff." And I was like, I was unsure at this point in time if like the housemate who I was trying to flirt with was polyamorous. So obviously I'm trying to like, make sure that I can offer whatever it is that they might want. So
you're just doing a bit of house renovations.
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm very much like each person I meet, like, it's a different, I'm trying to like still stay true to myself. So I'm like, each person I meet is a unique connection, and like whatever that might be, like, if I was to fall in love with somebody who was monogamous, I wouldn't deny myself that love if in case they wanted to be monogamous, because I'd rather be in love and monogamous than like not have any feelings for anybody and be polyamorous. Which I do stand by, because I'm like, ideally I wouldn't be completely monogamous, but I'd be open to like go somewhere in like compromise. For me, it's not like, oh, relationship anarchy or like strict monogamy. Like there's so many places in between where you could go, and I would be able to swing more towards the monogamous way if I was like in love with somebody, because I think that's quite rare. And anyways, and for the potential of me falling desperately in love with this housemate, I needed to just make that clear. And this is all a preface to Queer Me Out, which is that what if polyamory has spiked in this day and age because of friendships being less and less intimate?
Oh my god, I saw a video about this.
Yes, I sent it to you and said we should talk about this on the pod.
Amazing. Yeah, I so hear that. So the concept, like the premise is, like, what if people are now venturing into polyamory because they don't have that fulfillment and intimacy from their friendships, which they previously would have had, like Polly and Dolly and Lolly from down the road, and you would have all have like hugged and spend your days together sewing and going to the market and like trying to kiss each other. I think we've just relabeled a new thing. An old thing. We've relabeled an old thing.
Yeah.
Friendships have and always will be inherently intimate, and like,
but I think
a lot of what people's polyamory connections are what other people might call friendships.
Yeah, that is actually so true, because I was like, I feel like I have a lot of friendships that are like gray zone, and where I'm like, I'm more tactile with some friends than I am with others. Doesn't mean that I kiss them on the mouth or that we sleep together, but like
Kiss them on the mouth.
but like I'm more touchy with some people than I am with others. And like, and also, who's to say that I can't have like a friendship where we kiss but we don't sleep together, for example?
Yes,
or
exactly.
Like some anywhere in between. And it's like, oh, and where is the line between it being a romantic relationship and a friendship? And is it just like, so what you're saying, it really does ring true to me, is like, maybe we've just like relabeled, where it's like, oh, polyamory isn't really having more romantic partners, it's just having richer relationships in general.
Yeah.
You know, and then to some people that will mean that you have more sexual relations, obviously. I guess that's like the main thing, is if it's like feelings of love, and but then it's like, what is love and what kind of love? And is it like, oh, you have that kind of feelings of love, and does like intimacy or sex need to be involved in order for it to count as one of your polyamorous relationship? But what if you have like a sexless partnership that is highly intimate still, physically? You know, there's like, it's so complex, and like, so maybe they are onto something when they say that, but maybe that's just because in modern day culture, it's like when you're a grown up, you, especially if you're not a creative and if everything about your life is like within the box and within the standard, like, oh, your life is like you have a partnership and that's the person that you're close to, and then like your friends become less and less intimate until they are just like couples that you see on a dinner that you have over here and there, you know, like, which is really sad, obviously, if that's all that friendships become.
Yeah.
But I think that's quite common, because especially if you have like children, and like, you know, if you've not come into a routine from the get-go where like your friends are close with your children, or that in this, that, and the other, then it's like, oh, I'm just suddenly my friends is like the mothers of the children that go to school where my kid goes to school, and maybe like my old school friends, but also never without their partner, and we do like a partner thing, you know. I think it's like has a lot to do with it, probably.
I think, like fundamentally, it's all just about the loss of the village, isn't it? Which I feel like is everywhere, especially this past year. I don't know if we talked about it on season 2 that much, because I don't know if it was such a trend, but like everyone is talking about like lack of community, lack of the village. Like if the cost of friendship is inconvenience. You know, you and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And which actually, can I say, is that going to be a part of your Neighborhood Watch, or can I say?
No, go for it.
So I was staying at Anna's, and Anna was out on a date, so I had arrived at like, I don't know, 10:30. I'd watched a show, so I'd got back to Anna's house, and Anna was convinced that their housemates were going to be in, but they weren't. So sadly, Anna was like, I am currently going back to the person who I'm on dates with house. Like, we are on the DLR, and you know it's serious if someone's gotten on the DLR to go somewhere. And they were like, do let me know if you need me to come back and let you in, because obviously I will do that, but like I would really rather not do that in case like there's any way that anyone's in. So there's a gate outside Anna's house, so I had got into the gate, and not sneakily, like somebody just came and opened it, and I was like, can I please come in, and explain who I was. They didn't really seem to mind that much, to be honest, and I was like, that
feels
is a
great to
concern.
me, obviously, considering how I've described my street earlier in this episode.
Got to your door, was hanging around outside your door. Another one of your neighbours came home, and I was like, hi, I'm just outside waiting for Anna. They were like, no worries. And then turned out that was actually one of your housemates. So they let me in. So I had already told you that no one was in. So you had
I had already turned around.
Ripped yourself away from what you described as, I want to get the exact quote. Give me a second.
Oh my god, what did I describe it as? I'm so curious.
I'm actually just going to read out the conversation.
Do a different voice for me. Do a Swedish accent.
Okay. Please let me know ASAP, because I will have to turn around. Fuck. Will do. Just trying to find the door. We've rung a couple of times and nothing so far. Should we call a different flat? No, I'm coming. Damn. That's in full capital letters. Sorry, mate. Can't believe I was about to have sex on a supermoon. I'm on my way home. I said, it's the 7th tomorrow, so there's still time. Today was the warm-up moon. Hope our chemistry wasn't exclusive to the moon positioning.
I started off as Russian, and then I've ended as German. I don't know how this happened.
Look, you tell me that's just the history of Europe. Anyway, I feel like you maybe need to cut that whole segment. I really thought you said something funnier, or like
I thought that was quite funny.
Oh, thanks.
I think what really like may lose people is the accent, because that was just kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I never claimed to be able to do a Swedish accent.
No.
Anyway, Anna very kindly turned around from their date to come back, and it's like 10:45 and you're going the other direction. Then, you know, you're 10 minutes into the journey and I call you and I'm like, your housemate is here, you don't have to come back, turn back around and you're like, it's done.
It is done. And at that point, I was like, that's gonna be like that just feels weird and scatty. It's like, just take the L, you know, and be like, and reschedule and be like, okay, this is what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You know? And that's on the cost of community.
You did. That's it, exactly.
That's the cost of community, baby. And I'd do it again.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Is that just because it went so well 7 days later?
No comment. Oh. No, I agree. But the cost of community, I'm like, I don't know. It makes, and also people forget how good it makes you feel to do things for other people.
Yes.
You know, and I think if you are feeling resentful for like inconveniencing yourself for your friends, ask yourself why. Really deep that. Really deep that. And is that because you aren't getting anything in return? And then why is that the point? And if that is the point, then it's like, then why, maybe you will now. If you give and you take, it's like it all evens out in the end. And if you're consistently not getting anything in return, then maybe that there's something in that friendship that's wrong. But if, I don't know, if you have to understand, if like, am I resentful because I've leaned too much into the hyper individualism, or am I resentful because I feel like this is not a reciprocal relationship?
Yeah, these are big questions.
These are huge questions, and I'm happy to give unsolicited advice about it if that's something that you wish.
That is actually our show.
That is actually our show.
Sorry, but did we just do season 3, episode 1 of our amazing podcast?
100%. Hell yeah, we just did.
Oh!
Yeah.
Do you know how much we missed you?
Do you
actually know?
Guys, we are so motherfucking
obsessed.
back. I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy that we've been able to figure out how to do this. We were never going to leave you, and we've done the most lesbian thing, and we've said, let's do a long distance relationship. Here we are.
Oh yeah, we haven't even explained why.
No, I mean, I think we just have too much sexual chemistry to be in the room together. It's too distracting. We really can't get on with our jobs. It's like HR was like, you guys need to be separate.
Exactly. We're like animals, rabid in the cage.
Yeah.
We had a record number of Ofcom complaints.
Yeah. It was getting pretty bad.
Yeah. So that's why we're here.
Okay, love you guys.
Love you guys so much.
Bye.
See you in episode 2.
Bye, Bye. Get it off your chest, get them off your back. Get your compulsions back on track. Stick it to the strikes, tell them take a hike. Join your obsessive compulsive dykes.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording and then I'm going to tell you about my sexcapades.
I can't fucking wait.